Hindsighters, thank you for tuning in to In Depth with Miss Ty Burnett on Hindsight Media Radio 103.5 FM, where there's always something good to talk about. Tonight, you're in for a treat. Candace, Safeya, and Michelle, three women, one night, and infinite drama. Hold on to your wigs and clutch your pearls because tonight we're stepping into the firestorm of friendship, faith, and full blown chaos. Meet Candace, the First Lady, with a past that could feel like a confessional booth, or she's saved, sanctified, and still spicy, a former ratchet queen turned pulpit powerhouse. Candace walks with grace, but don't test her patience. She'll lay hands on you with the Holy Ghost and anoint your edges with oil if you come for her peace. Then there's Safeya, the unapologetic wild card. She loses in the streets, loose in the streets, tangled up with married men, and somehow still judging everyone else. But she's bold, brash, and dangerously entertaining. And let's not forget, she's stunningly beautiful. If drama had a face, it would be hers. And finally, Michelle, the quiet storm. Her husband's a cheater and a cheapskate, and Safeya won't let her forget it. But Michelle's silence hides strength, and her loyalty might just be her downfall. Together, these three women hit the club for one night of release, but what they find is revelation. Secrets spill, friendships crack, and the First Lady halo starts to slip. This isn't just a girls' night out, it's a spiritual showdown in silence and in stilettos. And tonight, we're driving deep with questions that expose the truth, stir the soul, and leave you begging for more. So, whether you're Team Candace with the holy oil, Team Safeya with the scandal, or Team Michelle with the silent strength, get ready because when these ladies hit the stage, they don't just perform, they explode. So, want this style, radio, social media, and printed program next? We can help you format it and bring these great beings together. So, welcome Danielle, aka Safeya, and Lashika, aka Miss Michelle, and of course, Miss Ty, aka Candace.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
That's
Now, what did you say, Safeya?
quite the introduction.
Oh, hey, we got to make it spicy because you girls are spicy, right?
That's right.
Right. So let's start with you, Safeya. Danielle is her name, but Safeya is her character. Now, when you first received this script, what was your thought process for your specific character?
Good Lord. It was, this is about to be wild. And, you clean up your own life, okay? Go through life and you clean up your own life and all that stuff you used to do when you were younger. Man, you try to live a nice, wholesome life, okay? And so it was something about this character that made me have to reach back into the old days, okay? Everybody say the old days.
Oh, days.
And so, first getting the role and understanding, of course, who she would be and who she is and how unapologetic she is about just how she lives. They always say they make a little hints in the play saying, "Oh, she in the streets." There's an aspect of you that kind of got to reach back into the old days.
I love that. And you know what's so funny? You just pulled a little bit of that first lady out of you because you had us repeating what you asked. Come on, first lady, rub it off on you. Love that. So, Michelle, same question for you. When you first received the script, what was your thought process for your character?
Wow. So when I first received the script, I'm like, okay, very interesting. Um, it's real life, right? My
Mm.
character actually, I've known people, women that, has been Michelle, including myself. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give it this Michelle is, I'm going to represent Michelle. So I actually enjoyed or is enjoying being Michelle because again, it's real life. Someone has been a Michelle in their life. So Yeah.
Absolutely. I definitely can agree with that. So now for you, Safaya, what has it been like working alongside writer director Orlando Anderson in the stage play What a Woman Wants and What a Man Needs to Know?
uh, I love how Orlando has a vision, and so in that vision, he knows exactly what it is he wants. He's already formulated what these characters look like and how they act in his mind, and so it makes it easier because he communicates very well how he wants that energy to be brought to pass. And so it's funny because he get a little, he might get a little snappy, like, no, that's not my vision. And so you understand. The more he coaches, the more he pulls each scene together, even the scenes that you're not in, you recognize what that full vision for the play is. And so it's powerful to see it come together, knowing that you're a piece in that puzzle.
Mhm.
But this man has the whole vision of the puzzle, and he's saying, no, this is why this detail is important, and this is why I need this energy to come across this way. It's cool to see.
I love that. And Michelle, the same for you. How has it been you working aside Orlando?
Well, is he is very direct. I will say that. And just like Safaya said, he has this vision of what he wants this play to become, and um, is I've totally enjoyed working beside Orlando. Again, because if something is not right, or if he feels like, okay, this is not, what I wanted, then he will correct it, and make sure that the characters um, pull off what he's asking each one of us to do. So working with him has been it has been a privilege to do so. So
Yeah. So let's
he's
continue
very
on. Yes.
direct.
Love that. Love that. So let's continue on and just leave it with you, Michelle, and answer. How did you prepare emotionally and mentally to step into your character's shoes? Like, especially when her choices or personality may differ from maybe your own in real life. In other words, so was there a moment that stretched you or made you rethink something about yourself personally?
Um, yes. So what I had to do to get into this character is to imagine or put myself in like someone that one of my girlfriends that has been through, issues with her marriage and etc. Is to pretty much put myself into her shoes and to feel that character of the pain and the hurt that Michelle is going through or feeling. Um, and has it stretched me? Yes, it has. Because it's real life. It's real life issues. I mean, we deal with it. People deal with it every day, and to have me to put to step back and ask myself, am I questioning, what's my worth? Or am I settling for less than what I should be receiving? So it has stretched me. So yeah.
I love that. Now, I love that. Now, Sophia, as the provocateur, the money mover, and the boundary pusher, how did you personally prepare emotionally and mentally to step in your character's shoes?
You know, you have to remind yourself you're playing a role. And so what I mean by that is that, if you're a person, like, my natural self is like, I love connecting with people, I love talking to people. And so I'm the friend. I'm always the friend. And so to be in a role where is clearly gonna be hated, is clearly gonna be that person in the story that's stirring something up. And I think I have to prepare for it. I've prepared for it, and I have to continue to prepare for it from the perspective of, no, you're not here to play nice. You're not here. You're here to stir it up. And so where's the drama without you? Where's the fun? Where's the drama? Where's the uh-oh? You know, you there's a level of fearlessness and there's a level of fun that you have to learn, that I think I'm learning to have with it. And there's a level of just fearlessness and freedom that you kind of got to tap into to play that type of character, to say, you know what, I'm willing to, because the whole point of the story, it is to push across a point. It is for people to see themselves in the play, and see the drama of life sometimes, you know. And so in order to do that, the fun part is, bro, let loose, be free. You're not, you know, you're a wife and you're a mother and you're this and you're that. You're not this right now, baby. This character is for herself. Okay, she's for the streets. So have a good time. Let loose. With too hard about it, you know. It's been that type of thing, you know.
Love that. So now, Safeya, if your character could give one piece of advice to the audience about relationships, what would it be? So, in other words, like, would you co-sign that advice in real life or challenge it as Safeya?
Safaya's advice would be like, listen, baby, if it don't serve you, where are you showing up? Let me teach you how to handle these men, child. You got to play the game. You got to play the cat and mouse game to get what you want. Okay, get the bills paid. You know, if you see a fine man, baby, he can serve you. Don't worry about what that man got going on at home. Okay, hint, hint. Okay, and Safeya, she's all about having a good time. She's all about, you know, truthfully saying, I think that if we could really say it, you know, she came out of a marriage, and so she did the whole marriage thing. She did the whole, I argued with a man and I stayed with a man, and you know, and she went through the divorce, and so she's at this point in time where she's like, I'm not arguing with no man. I'm not playing no game with no man. I'm gonna date him, and if it becomes problematic, he has to go. You know, it's very, very self-centered, and I would, in my real self, absolutely challenge that train of thought, because that's one of those trains of thought that sounds good in theory, but it causes a lot of issues and a lot of drama.
I love that. I love that. All right. So, Michelle, same for you. If your character could give one piece of advice to the audience about relationships, what would it be? And would you co-sign on it in real life?
My character is to, I would say, to not put up with the BS.
Hmm.
Um, know how many chances you are going to give this person. Um, and be careful. Know the red signs. Watch the red signs, the red flags. I mean, know the red flags, and um, just know, you know, your worth. As Michelle, she didn't she didn't know her worth as being a woman, and it was like she was so deep into her marriage, that she couldn't see nothing wrong, giving chances after chances. And as a woman, stop with all the chances after chances. Um, if if he don't, if he doesn't get it right, hasn't gotten it right, then it's time to love self.
Yeah. So would you say, because you mentioned red flags, so would you say that Michelle saw the red flags, but she turned a blind eye to them?
Oh, yes, she saw the red flags. She did. And part of Michelle's character is, again, she's that loving wife that honors her vows. And she wants her marriage to work. Um, um so I saw that Michelle saw the flags, but she still wanted to give chances, forgive chances.
Okay.
You know,
As many of us do in life, we give chance after all the mess ups, right?
absolutely,
Absolutely. So
absolutely.
let's pivot back to you, Safaya. How do you justify judging Michelle's marriage when your own choices are so controversial? Now, don't give too much away, but how do you justify your actions?
Well,
Mm.
I see it. If you want to call that judging, then baby, you can call that judging. I'm gonna call it like I see it, okay? And
All
that man is playing in her face. That man is playing in her face, and so I'm gonna call it like I see it, and I'm gonna tell my friend that he's playing in her face. That has nothing to do with what I have going on. I'm not messing with her man. You understand what I'm saying?
just everybody else's.
I'm not at her house. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell her the truth.
Okay. I love that.
Yes.
Look, I love that. So, what's one moment in the play where your vulnerability is revealed, Sophia? Or is it ever revealed?
That's a great question. I think I think that there's moments of anger with her ex-husband
Mm-hmm.
that actually I think hint at state, places of vulnerability. That she makes a couple comments where you can feel that her husband, her ex-husband, saw those little selfish ways and saw certain
Mm-hmm.
things, and he probably told her about herself, and it probably led into a divorce. And so I think subtly in those moments where she's angry and she's like, oh, he gets on my nerves. It could be that reminder of sometimes that thing that you don't want to change about yourself, that thing that
Right.
somebody like. And so her vulnerability is not like outward. It's not like, oh, okay, you can tell she's vulnerable. She's not crying. Anytime somebody's getting emotional, she's like, okay, that's enough. Wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
But her moments of vulnerability, I think, come through certain moments of like anger and frustration. I think her ex-husband pulls that out.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's deep. So, now, is there any point where anything that the first lady said gave you pause or made you think about your actions?
Mm. No. No.
Michelle said no.
Lady, but she was the first lady. New first lady. Okay, throwing ass for a couple dollars. Okay, baby.
Wait,
So
repeat that again.
we're from way back when. So first lady say stuff, and I just let it go through one ear and out the other. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, okay, Michelle, you try to co-sign on that. Yep, what?
It goes through one ear out the other. She don't listen. So
Oh, that's funny. So, I guess another ask for you, Sophia, would be what's one moment in the play where you feel completely misunderstood?
mm,
Well, I think it goes back to you know it is easy to hate Sapphire, especially for every woman who's ever been in a committed relationship. Okay, every woman who wants that. Okay, I would just want to be with a man. A woman like Sapphire that has no boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
The one that you hate because she's the one flirting with everybody. She's the one doing the most. However, I think, like I said earlier about her vulnerability with her marriage, I think that there are things that hint, okay, well, maybe there was a level of heartbreak in her divorce. Maybe there was a level of disappointment in her divorce. And now, more than ever, that selfishness now lives to the fullest. And so, everybody says marriage is difficult, marriage is hard. And so, marriage will show you yourself. And so, you have to really change. And not everybody can do that. Not everybody can really change and adjust and heal and do what they have to do. And so,
Mm-hmm.
maybe in her case, she went all the way to the left. And so she's not thinking about her son like that. She's only thinking about herself from that perspective of, I want to make sure I have a good time. I want to make sure that I'm protected. And I don't never want to be the wife again. I want to be the one who, because you see a glimmer of hope somewhere in the play at, there's a little bit of a glimmer of hope somewhere that she might want to eventually, fall in love again, so that shows me that she was a soft girl at one time. Okay.
So are we hearing that you want to play and not get played anymore? Is that what we're
We
hearing?
want to be outside.
Listen, she would just, oh no, Michelle, she wants to be outside.
She wants to be outside,
Oh
side.
my God. That is hilarious. Okay. So, okay, with that, Michelle, let's pivot over to you. So, you're the loyal heart, the soft-spoken soul, and the silent storm. So, your husband is cheating, just to give him a little hint in this play, but you're still holding down home together, as many women do in this world. What does that say about your strength and your struggle as Michelle? And how did you embody that tension on stage?
Mm.
Um, it tells that I am a loyal woman. Um, I um, I would say pretty much I want so in a marriage, Michelle marriage, she's that wife that wants to hold on to her marriage.
Mm,
Um, regardless of again, what he's doing. It's just that love that she has for him, right? Marriage is tough.
oh,
It
yeah.
is tough. It is rough, and it is not for the weak.
Hmm.
Um, so with Michelle, like I said, she puts up with a lot of the mess, and at the end of the day, she just got tired of it, and you know, she got tired of being that wife that always wanted to, you know, be with her husband, wanted to give him, you know, wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Mm.
Um, and just wanted to just have a husband, but she got fed up with it, and it is without telling the whole, telling the play or whatever. But she got tired of it, and again, she did what she had to do.
All right, love that, love that. So, what scene felt like Michelle's emotional breaking point? Like, and how did you prepare for it?
Uh, the scene was when everything came out the closet,
Mm.
and how I embraced myself. I didn't. um, I guess I had to think about the consequences
Mm-hmm.
of, if I do this, when everything came out of the closet, what consequences will it lead me? So, as any strong woman would do, um, I think I handled it very well. I think I handled it very well.
I, I like that. I like that. So now there's another person, a third wheel to you guys, First
It
Lady.
is.
There's First Lady in the play. So listen, do you guys have any ask for dear old First Lady? Now
We
speak.
do, First Lady. We do.
We
You
sure
know we do.
we want to know a couple things. First lady is a certain role. It's an interesting role. So, questions for you, Ty. When you received the script, when you knew you would be playing a first lady, yeah, what thoughts were going through your head? What was your thought process to pull that character together?
Well, let me tell you this first. It was very interesting that I got casted for this role as First Lady because now I'm a person in real life who never wanted to get married. Okay. Never want to get married. I'm never trying to drop a broom. I'm not trying to do all the things, right? But I said if I ever folded and decided to, which I'm not, but in another world, if God bring us back to earth one day, maybe, probably not, but yes, if I were to marry somebody, it would have to be a pastor so that I could be a true first lady. Dead
Oh,
serious. I'm dead serious.
Really?
Yes, Lord Jesus. I swear before God.
God is
Otherwise, I'm definitely not. So that's the only way. So the only way I would do it if I had the opportunity to be a first lady. I just said again in another life, not in this real life right now, but yes. So when I first got the script, I had to pause and I had to say, wait a minute now. The first lady used to be Ratchet. That's what got me because, and she's back in the club. That's not me. And it's
Well, we
definitely
all have our past.
no, baby. Listen, I am not ratchet. I don't have a ratchet bone in my body. Like, how do I? So, but I may be firm and stern, but it's definitely somebody I had to side eye.
yeah,
Like, I'm proper, I'm posed, I'm now I do not like buffoonery. That is
Mhm,
true. And I walk with purpose and I do not entertain foolishness. So,
mhm.
it was interesting to say that I had to be ratchet with it, but also I know how to be petty with precision. So don't let the polish fool you.
That's
I will
right.
say that.
You're
But
right. You're
if you
right.
came, if you came for deliverance, I might give you a little bit of that. But yeah, that's a good ask.
Okay. Okay. So, how has it been working alongside with the director, Orlando Anderson?
Listen, my dear Aquarian spirit heart, him, I can thump him sometimes. So working with him has definitely been a master class in like I would say emotional truth and theatrical boldness. Like he didn't just write the script, in my opinion. I think that he kind of wrote out like a soul map for each character. And then in every scene, every line, every pause, it was like with intention. And trust
Mhm,
me, he will challenge you and he'll say, I need more grip in that line. Or don't just say it, feel it. He's kind of like a little rah, rah.
mhm,
I'm like, sit down somewhere. But he creates that space for transformation. Like he sees the layers in every character, in my opinion, I believe. And then he pulls it out of us, whether we're ready or not. And what I think I love the most is just that he respects each actor's voice. I
right.
yeah,
truly believe that he hears all of us. And then he lets us bring our truth into the role
Mhm,
within reason, right? And
right.
so even when I had to tap into Candace ratchet past, which is again far from my reality, he broke down what it is that he needed and then what the character should exude. So, it's been a joy and a stretch and a whole vibe working with him. So this play isn't just entertainment. I think it's a mirror where Orlando, he is the one holding it up. So I like that. I think it's great.
very
Yes.
well said. Very well said. I
Very well.
did like it. Just he basically uses those words in that direction to cause you to transform. Because I mean, let's be real here. When you're talking about acting, like you said, there's aspects of every character that you may be able to see, even if it's 1% of yourself in. And so that 1% feel like, oh, is that enough for me to play? And I think over the time with him directing, it just allowed that transformation to happen, like that real transformation between you and the character, which I think is epic when you're talking about really, really delivering on a vision. So I think that's great.
I can agree with that. Yes, yes, yes.
Now we got a question for First Lady. Okay, direct
Uh-oh.
First Lady. Now, girl, what made you decide to join Safeya and Michelle at the club?
Really?
Happy hour at that.
Oh, wow, Michelle, really? Because listen, even first ladies need a night off. Now, hold on. All the church people listening to this, do not come for me. You're going to be like, wait, you need a night off, but not at the nightclub, or as Michelle said, not at happy hour. But I wanted to remind myself and everybody listening just out there that healing doesn't mean isolation. We'll use
Mhm,
a great example. When we talk about Leandra, the gospel singer Leandra,
Mm-hmm.
she goes out to the street and she ministers, right? And she too struggles with her own challenges. at the end of the day, sometimes you got to meet people where they are, even if it's next to hookers and bad decision. We're not on a pedestal
Mm-hmm.
as first women, right? Or first
Absolutely.
ladies of a church. That's not what it's about. It's about meeting people where they are. And sometimes you have to go where the challenges are so that we can heal together as individuals. It doesn't mean that I'm better than the next person right beside me just because I'm the first lady. It's just a title.
Yeah.
It is really just a title. And of course, you do have to be mindful of your presence and have situation awareness in the role that you're in, but that doesn't make me better than the next person, whether it be the person doing hookah, the hooker next door, or someone making bad decisions. Because I too am, as they said, what I was ratchet before, right? As
Hmm.
Right.
first
Your
lady, so
past.
I had a past. So who am I to judge?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
I love.
that's great answer, First Lady. Great answer.
Ah, you was proud,
So
lady. I love it.
yeah, you was. I mean, we could tell you had some good. Yeah, you was. Um. So my next question is, what is one lesson you hope the audience takes away from your character
Ooh.
journey?
really, I'll speak to it from First Lady Candace's standpoint, and it's basically that redemption is real,
Mm,
and that you can be ratchet and righteous,
mm.
and that God doesn't call the perfect, He
Mm.
perfects the call. And baby, I was called loud and messy as Candace. So that's what it's about. That's simple.
I love
Okay.
it.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all we have for me. Good.
We enjoy you being at the club with us. It's you always want that friend that is going to speak positive
Yeah.
in here, and I think with First Lady, well, Candace, you are that friend that, is going to, not sugarcoat anything and just let it be known, the truth. Hey,
Mhm.
why are you doing this, or and my thing is we can't judge the next person, right?
Right.
However, Safeya, again, she's that friend, that loud friend, that girl, like she said, she's gonna have a good time, and she's gonna do her right.
Yep.
So I think the three of us make a great combination, because you have that one that is gonna keep us balanced, and then that loud friend is Sophia, right? And then little me, trying to think about what's going on at my home, right?
Right.
But at the same time, still enjoy the friendship of being out and enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So, Sophia, tell me, what do you hope the audiences will walk away with after seeing what a woman wants and what a man needs to know?
I would say I think that there is a level of awareness that each character like doesn't have about their own self, right?
Wow.
And so you see some characters reach that level of awareness at the end, and then some characters don't even get the opportunity. Some characters are stuck in their ways, and I think so when you have such a multifaceted play that you can see so many different people, so many different perspectives, from the controversial to the from the saint to the sinner, you see all these different people, and you can see yourself in almost all of them. You can see yourself, and you can it's a play is and entertainment, really. A play, movies, entertainment, it allows you to look in the mirror without the sting of actually looking into the mirror. You can look at other aspects, and you can see, from a bird's eye view, from another vantage point, to say, there is some self-reflection about how all of our decisions affect one another. But in the guys and in the lab, in the in a time of laughter, there's laughter in the play, there's humor in the play, there's you can feel good, but you can talk about deep and serious things and aspects of life that allow you to look at yourself, and just continue to do better. So I hope that that's the effect. I hope that people come in and they have a good time, they laugh. They got to get their little anger out on the players. That's cool. But overall, I hope that they're able to see themselves in a way that makes them self-reflective, and ultimately better.
I love that. I love that. And the same for you, Michelle. What do you hope the audiences walk away with after seeing what a woman wants and what a man needs to know?
Um, themselves.
Mm,
Whether it's my scene, the other cast members seeing themselves and working on them and their spouse or significant other. Because again, even in a marriage or really any relationship, there's always work that needs to be done. And it takes two to make it happen. It takes two to make the relationship work, and not just one person. It's not one sided, right? So I feel what I would like the audience to take away is evaluating themselves and asking, is this me? And just working on it. And as far as the character of Michelle, to all my women is to know your worth. Don't settle for less, and know the red flags.
I love that. I love that.
Okay.
And yes, ma'am.
And that what a woman wants and a man needs to know, that was an amazing play. That's
Hey.
also one of the things I want the audience to take away and to know, and to share. Man, that Orlando Anderson, that play was awesome. When is it coming back again? That's
Right.
what we want to know.
Well, we can tell them that there are two shows that same night if they want to repeat,
Absolutely.
stay and repeat, 10 both or one at all, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. And we'll give details later. But yeah, they can catch it twice in the future, other locations, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I'll give my little 2 cents in that too, what I hope they'll take away. And it's more so just more than just entertainment, basically walking out with the revelation.
Mm.
Hmm.
Because the goal here, I always think that when you're putting on a play, people often see themselves in the characters, whether they want to believe it or not, right? Or if they want to keep it hidden from other people. The play isn't just about relationships, it's about reflection.
Hmm.
And it's what I mentioned earlier about, holding up that mirror, whether it means mess, whether it means magic, or whether it means misunderstandings between men and women, it doesn't sugarcoat. I really think there's a sacrifice there in somewhere. So for women need to be, they need to feel seen and not just from their strength, but also for their softness. Like Michelle, your soft spirit in here. And then also Safeya, you have that strength. So it's important for people to see a balance. And then every couple, every single person, every soul in the audience, they need to leave knowing that healing is possible. Excuse me, in spite of whatever it is that you're going through, and that love is layered and truth is definitely transformational, right? And
Right.
so this play is a conversation that oftentimes we're as individuals we're scared to have a discussion about, but it's wrapped up in laughter. I think there's going to be tears, there's going to be truth. So if you came for the drama or you're coming for the drama, you'll get it. But if you came for the deliverance, you just might leave changed. So I think
Yes.
that's that balance in there. Would y'all agree?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that. So now, is there any additional information y'all want to impart on the listeners or anything you think they should know about your character or just want to say, just come on to see the play?
Just come on and see the play.
You
One
get
at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Next Saturday has.
Wow, can you believe it is right around the corner? Are you ready?
Oh my God. I am ready, right?
Yes.
But I can feel the nervousness coming on, right?
It's
Cause I'm like,
happening.
oh my gosh, it's like next week. Like, ooh, Michelle.
You got this. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. So let me ask though, now, are there any other projects that you guys have gone on that you want to share with everyone on the platform tonight? And if you have social media handles or where people can buy the tickets to other projects that you're doing or things you'll be doing in the future, do you want to kind of plug yourself?
Yes. So my next project is another play that I am featured in. It's called Mama B's Press and Curl, and that is actually the day after What a Woman Wants and a Man Needs to Know, September the 21st, and that is at Encore Film and Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. We only have one show, and that's a 6 p.m. show. So if you're needing something to do, needing something extra to do when you leave What a Woman Wants and a Man Needs to Know, come on out to Mama B's Press and Curl. I'm also in a film, a short film that I'm also working on, as well as a movie. And my you can reach me at IG, which is Daughter of a King 38, and my Facebook page, which is Lashika Jackson Greer, Grier.
I love that.
And that's
Danielle, aka Safaya, any other projects for you?
Nope, nope. Just working on business, hoping to get into acting a little bit more. But of course, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Danny Divine, but with only one I. So Danny Danny Divine, Danny Divine. So you'll see all of my stuff there, and hopefully some future things too.
You got this, my
yes.
love, and I thank you both. So, three women, one stage, and zero chill. If you thought that was wild, just wait until you see it live. What a woman wants and what a man needs to know. It's more than a play, it's a full body experience. It's a collision of faith, fire, and female furry that will have you laughing, crying, and whispering. Did she really just say that? And when we say that, we're speaking about the bold and beautiful and provocative Sophia. The location will be at the Porter Sanford III Performing Arts Center off of Rainbow Drive in Decatur, Georgia. Saturday, September 20th, 2025. Showtimes are 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Tickets are available at ticketleap.com. So trust us, they are going fast. And this is the kind of show that sells out and stays with you in your spirit. So listen, thank you to every heart tuned in tonight. Thank you for letting us part your ways and rhythm and your reflections and your ride home or your quiet moments of pause. May your days be filled with purpose and your nights with peace and your spirit with the kind of joy that lingers long after the curtains close. We'll be right here when you're ready to tune back in. Until then, be bold, be kind, and be unapologetically you. This is In Depth with Ty Barnett on Hindsight Media Radio, 103.5 FM, where there's always something good to talk about. Visit our website at www.hindsightmediaradio.com. And ladies, again, thank you for tuning in and for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
having us. And
Absolutely.